This is your Bora series magnetic sweeper assembly video. When you opened your crate, you'll have your already pre-assembled magnetic sweeper base. It's got your magnet housing in the debris tray. You'll have your bag of fasteners, your two 8-inch steel wheels, your 3-piece Y-handle assembly, and your release rod. It comes pre-assembled with your nylon bushings and fasteners already in place for you. The first step, we'll go ahead and we'll install the 8-inch steel ball bearing wheels. We'll go ahead and get one of the wheel bolts out of our bolt bag. You want to insert the wheel bolt through the cup side of the wheel, and you want the cup side that's sticking outwards on the inside of the sweeper. You can see the difference between the two sides. So we want to go and insert our bolt, and then insert it through the hole of a choice on the magnetic sweeper. If you want your sweeper lower to the ground, you put it in the higher hole. If you want your sweeper mid-height, 2 inches height, you put it in the middle. And if you want your sweeper at its highest point, which is 3 inches, you can put it in the bottom hole. And we'll just finger tight that for now until we get the other one installed. Now for the other side, we'll take the wheel bolt and we'll insert it so that the dish side is on the inside of the sweeper again. We'll insert it through the same hole that we inserted it on, same level as the other side of the sweeper. And we'll just put it on finger tight. Then now we can go ahead and tighten both of those firmly using our 3/4 inch and 9/16 wrench. Once those are tightly, we'll go ahead and we'll install our lower Y-handle arms. Now you notice the difference in the hole pitch between the top of the handle and the bottom. The bottom's got a smaller pitch. We install that using our 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch bolts that came in your bolt bag. We'll install a washer on the bolt first. Insert the bolt through the upright on your magnetic sweeper base and then through your lower Y-handle arm, making sure that the handle is mounted on the inside of your upright. Then we'll go ahead and we'll install another 1/4 by 1.5 inch bolt in the upper hole position with a washer on it. Insert it through the upright, through your lower Y-handle, install a washer and a nylock nut. You can leave those just finger tight for now. We'll go to the other side of the sweeper, install the other lower Y-handle arm. We'll start a washer on the bolt through the upright on the magnetic sweeper base, through the lower Y-handle arm, make sure it's mounted on the inside of the upright. We'll install a washer and a nylock nut. Then we'll go ahead and we'll put the upper fastener in. 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch bolt. Washer on the bolt, through the upright, through the Y-handle arm, washer on, and a nylock nut. And we'll leave those all finger tight for now until we get the rest of the handle assembled. Our next step is we're going to install the upper Y-handle arm, which also has your debris release lever pre-installed on it. We want to install it with the release lever facing forward on the front side of the magnetic sweeper, not rotated behind backwards. And you want to make sure it's also easy to, this handle can become moved behind it when you're installing it. We want to make sure that it is in front of it. And we'll go in and we'll install that using our 1/4 by 2 3/4 bolts. We'll install a washer first on the bolt. Insert the bolt through your lower Y-handle arm, through your upper Y-handle arm, and through your lower Y-handle arm on the opposite side. Then you can go and install a washer and a nylock nut. Now we'll install the second bolt on the upper end. Another 2 3/4 by 1/4 inch bolt. Install a washer on it. Insert it through the lower Y-handle arm, through the upper Y-handle, and then into the opposite lower Y-handle arm. Then we'll put a washer and a lock nut on. And we'll leave those finger tight for now. Now the last step is to install your debris release rod, which is symmetrical end to end. It doesn't matter which way you put it on. You want to make sure that it's on the front of your Y handle assembly instead of behind it. So you can go and just set that on front. Remove the fastener that was pre-assembled into your release rod when you received your sweeper. Insert it in between. Use 2 uprights on your magnetic sweeper base. With the washer on your bolt, you can just push it through and install a same washer that came off that bolt back on and the nylock nut, and you can leave that just finger tight for now. Then you can go ahead and install the upper release rod bolt to your debris release lever. You can remove the fastener. Make sure your nylon bushings are in place. Insert the bolt through your Y handle, through your release lever, through your debris release rod. You can install your washer on the back side and then a nylock nut. Now this upper and lower bolts for the debris release rod, you don't want to tighten those bolts too much because they are pivot points. So we're going to go ahead and just put a couple turns on them to make sure that the nylock nut has been engaged and it won't come undone. And we'll do the same to the bottom. Keep in mind these are pivot points, you don't want to over tighten them. If this rod's a little bit loose, that's fine. Now that that's done, we can go ahead and we can tighten our 2 lower Y handle arm bolts on each side. You can tighten those bolts firmly. And then our last step is to tighten our upper Y handle bolts. And you can tighten those firmly also. And now that those are tightened, you can pull your release lever to make sure that your Bora series sweeper opens freely. If there's any binding at all, maybe you've over tightened these bolts a little bit, you can loosen them. And if it does move freely, your Bora sweeper is ready to be used.